From a bedroom, he caused the biggest stock market crash in history. Navinder Singh Sarao. At 2:45 p.m. on May 6, 2010, without any warning, the US stock market began to plummet. Within 20 minutes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average had fallen by 9%. All the stocks were in free fall, and the entire market was in shock. What just happened? This was the flash crash, the fastest, most violent, and most bizarre crash in US stock market history. The US regulators were clueless. They spent a huge amount of effort interviewing all the big investment banks and hedge funds on Wall Street, trying to investigate every single trade they made that day. But strangely, even after a full 5 years, they couldn't find a single clue. These Wall Street elites in their fancy offices probably never imagined that across the ocean, in a suburb of London, in an ordinary town, in an ordinary bedroom on the second floor of a house, an ordinary-looking, mysterious young man was the mastermind behind the entire crash. This is the protagonist of our story today, the Mystery Man. His full name is Navinder Singh Sarao. Too hard to pronounce, so we'll just call him Mystery Man. You're saying this young guy just messing around in his bedroom all day made a fortune, earning millions of dollars a day, and accidentally crashed the US stock market. Many young people see him as an idol. Doesn't it sound like a movie? How did he do it? Mystery Man is a British man of Indian descent, born in 1979 in a town called Hounslow, a suburb on the outskirts of London. 31 years later, this small town would become the origin of the US stock market crash. When Mystery Man was about to graduate from university, he saw an ad that said, "We are looking for futures traders with excellent stress resistance." Mystery Man thought, "I can do that," and went for the interview. This kind of trading company is very common in New York and London, and they're not very big. To be honest, I also interviewed with this kind of company when I graduated. Their model is easy to understand. The company puts up the money and you trade. You can trade stocks, options, commodities, basically whatever you want. If you make money, you split it with the company, 50-50. I have to say, this Mystery Man is a genius. He's quick-witted, has strong logical thinking skills, and is super fast with his hands. This kid, fresh out of college, didn't need anyone to teach him, didn't need a team, just by himself all day long, thinking about how to make money and then trading. Unexpectedly, he became the most profitable person in the entire company, making tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of pounds a day. Actually, like many traders today, or those particularly geeky people, he would wear big headphones every day, and for 7 or 8 hours he would be glued to his computer and phone, clicking away and making tons of money. For example, during the 2008 financial crisis, Lehman Brothers had already collapsed, and assets around the world were plummeting. Mystery Man, after some analysis, and of course his intuition, felt that the US government would bail out the market. So he put all his money in, even using the highest leverage. And wouldn't you know it, he bought in on Friday, and on Monday the US government announced a $700 billion bailout plan. He made a killing. His assets jumped from 2 million to 15 million. Don't forget, he was only in his 20s at the time, and a newbie without any formal training. Tell me, that's not amazing? Such a talented person having to give 50% to the company, would you do it? Once he figured that out, he immediately left and started his own thing. Of course, he didn't start a hedge fund, didn't hire anyone, didn't rent a fancy office on the banks of the Thames. He relied on himself, moved back to his hometown of Hounslow. He was kind of like a super skilled hacker. He set up his own equipment, his mainframe, monitors, and of course some mysterious devices all in his room. Then every day he'd draw the curtains, put on his big headphones, and spend 7 or 8 hours doing those mysterious trades. Sometimes at noon, his mom would call him from downstairs saying it was time for lunch. He'd say, "Wait a minute." Then click his mouse, go downstairs for lunch, come back up, and continue clicking away, making big bucks. Their house was worth $300,000, but, you know, for mystery man who was often making millions of pounds a day, imagine earning the price of a house in a day. What kind of experience is that? But he didn't buy a house. He still lived with his parents and traded in that small room. For example, some traders are like gamblers, very aggressive, like Bill Huang we talked about before, who would reinvest all his earnings. So they definitely make money quickly. But Mystery Man also has some Indian blood in him. Maybe he's more conservative. He would take out the money he earned, but in the UK, you have to pay about 30% to 40% capital gains tax. So he took the money he earned, and through a series of complex cross-border operations, transferred the money overseas, successfully avoiding taxes and making investments abroad. In his eyes, the entire trading game was like playing a video game. The money he earned was just in-game currency. You know how gamers are, the more in-game currency, the better. He never thought about using the money to improve his life or anything like that. Speaking of which, you must be curious, and so am I. How did he make so much money? Let's talk about Mystery Man's modus operandi. Of course, some of it was legal, some of it wasn't, but the main source of income was still through illegal means. Any financial product in the financial market becomes a market because some people are willing to buy and some people are willing to sell. For example, some people are willing to buy. I'm willing to pay $100 to buy. Some people are willing to pay $99. Some people are willing to pay $98, $97, $96. The same goes for selling. Selling is generally higher than buying. You definitely want to sell for a higher price. So some people are willing to sell at $101. Some people are willing to sell at $102, $103, $104, and so on. So the price we see on those trading software is usually, in our example, between $100 and $101. Let's say it's $150. If you're in a hurry to buy right now, you can offer $101 and buy it all in. Some people want to buy at $103, or you can too, but there's no need. Okay, let's continue. Generally, more professional trading software, in addition to showing the prices, can also show the order volume. That is, how many orders are willing to buy at $100, how many orders are willing to buy at $99, and the same goes for selling. Okay, here comes the important part. We can use this data to understand the supply and demand relationship of the market. That is, how many people want to buy, how many people want to sell, right? Then if there are a lot of people who want to buy, then the price is likely to go up. If there are a lot of people who want to sell, it indicates that the market is bearish. This brings us to Mystery Man. The core principle of how he made money is that he could enter a large number of orders to scare you, but not actually execute them. thereby pushing the stock price in the direction he wanted to see. For example, in the previous example, Mystery Man first buys in at $101, right? Then he places a large number of buy orders, trying to push the market price up. When the market sees so many people wanting to buy, it must be bullish, right? So I have to buy quickly to more and more buy orders come in. Sell orders start to withdraw, pushing the price up until the price, for example, rises to 110, 111. At this time, Mystery Man sells what he just bought at $101, making a solid $9 profit. In short, it's profiting by scaring the market. Doesn't this principle sound quite simple? This technique, the professional term, is called spoofing. In fact, in the secondary market, as long as your capital is large enough, you can influence the market and push the market in the direction you want. Isn't that a bit like manipulating the market? So now this kind of operation is definitely not allowed. That is, if you trade on Wall Street, as soon as you enter, they will tell you what you can do, what you can't do, what is illegal, what will land you in jail. And spoofing is the first of the illegal ones. On a side note, when I used to work, there was a guy sitting next to me. Once he had an order he originally wanted to buy, but accidentally placed a sell order. The guy was so scared that he quickly withdrew it and then placed a new buy order. The next day, the company's compliance team suspected him of spoofing and called him in for a chat. The guy was terrified. Back to Mystery Man, he was using this spoofing method to manipulate market prices. Initially, before 2006, he was making a killing, but later many hedge funds that relied on machine operations and high-frequency trading came in, greatly squeezing Mystery Man's profit margins. Mystery Man couldn't just sit back and watch. So he quickly hired someone and started writing his own programs and algorithms. And boy, did that make him even more powerful. With these algorithms, his trading volume, or rather the volume of his fake orders, grew exponentially. At one point in the S&P 500 E-mini futures, his daily order volume alone accounted for 7% of the entire market. The time came to May 6, 2010, the day of the US stock market flash crash. That afternoon, there were some rumors about the European Central Bank, and the market volatility was huge. Traders, of course, hope for high volatility, because volatility means opportunities to make money. If the stock prices don't move, how do they make money? So he implemented his usual strategy, placing sell orders, canceling orders, placing sell orders, canceling orders. His order volume that day reached $2 billion, and he modified his orders 19,000 times. It is said that on that day, 1/3 of all the orders in the S&P 500 E-mini futures market were placed by Mystery Man. So he manipulated the market like this, and with the occasional successful trade, he easily made nearly 1 million, which also increased the market volatility. Then at 1:40 p.m. New York time, I guess maybe his mom called him downstairs for dinner, so he turned off his computer and stopped trading. What happened next, as we mentioned at the beginning? You probably all know the US stock market flash crash. Everyone was collectively dumbfounded. You see, if in a market crash you don't know what's going on, many professional institutions will definitely cut their positions, and those high-frequency trading companies will even liquidate their positions at all costs to stop losses. These will definitely exacerbate market volatility. Then, when everyone came to their senses and found that nothing had happened, the market rebounded, creating the magical scene we saw at the beginning, the flash crash. In the following 5 years, Mystery Man became more and more skilled, making a total of $70 million in his small bedroom. At that time, he didn't even know that he had committed such a big crime. Until one day in 2015, a group of burly FBI agents came to his door and knocked. Mystery Man's dad opened the door and shouted, "Sarao, someone's here for you." Sarao, acting normal, came downstairs in a baggy t-shirt and shorts. When the two sides met, they were both stunned. The FBI thought, "What the heck? This kid brought down the US stock market." Mystery Man was also confused. What's wrong? What did I do? The neighbors were also confused. Sarao is a multimillionaire? I just saw this kid buying a value meal at McDonald's yesterday. The US government brought a total of 22 charges against him. Mystery Man was facing up to 380 years in prison. But that's not all. Here comes the interesting part. At the beginning of his detention, the court set a bail of $5 million. That is to say, if you pay $5 million, he can be released on bail. Everyone thought this young man, who made tens of millions of dollars himself, $5 million is nothing. He should just pay up and get out. But didn't we say that Mystery Man had invested all his money overseas? Now that he needed money, he started calling those investment companies. To his surprise, they were all scammers, and he didn't get a penny back. This genius, who had come up with such complex tax avoidance schemes, was ultimately scammed out of all his money, his entire fortune. What's even more interesting is that the court, seeing this situation, was also helpless. They had originally thought that they could get $5 million, but had to reduce the bail to $50,000. In the end, it was his parents who mortgaged their house to get the money to bail their son out. You see, if we look at it from the perspective of the US regulators and the FBI, they were also helpless. They had originally thought they were investigating a major case and would find some Wall Street investment banks and hedge funds hundreds of millions of dollars. But in the end, they caught this reclusive young man who never left his house, wearing headphones, who couldn't even come up with $5 million. What's more, Mystery Man was a socially awkward, lonely genius who couldn't take care of himself except for making money in video games. During the trial, it was also discovered that Mystery Man actually had autism, his money was gone, and he was quite pitiful. What's the point of putting such a young man in jail for 380 years? So, the usually stingy US regulators reached an agreement with Mystery Man. As long as you cooperate with our investigation, we will speak for you in front of the judge and help you reduce your sentence. Hearing this, Mystery Man became very cooperative and helpful. From his genius perspective, he began to explain to the US regulators how there are so many ways to manipulate the market, and these are all things you should pay attention to. You guys are too weak. With Mystery Man's help, the regulators have caught many big fish on Wall Street in recent years, including Deutsche Bank, UBS, HSBC, etc., fining them billions of dollars. You see, Mystery Man was so helpful that the regulators wrote a letter to the judge saying that Mystery Man was very cooperative and helpful, helped us catch many violators, and he's already been punished enough. Please give him a lenient sentence. I have to add that there are actually many different opinions about the cause of the flash crash. Some people say it was the butterfly effect. You can't blame it all on Mystery Man, and some people say Mystery Man was just a scapegoat. But Mystery Man is indeed the only person who was arrested because of this incident. In January 2020, the court's verdict came down. Mystery Man was symbolically sentenced to 1 year of house arrest at his home in Hounslow. And that was the end of it. As we all know, a month later, COVID hit, and people all over the world were sentenced to home confinement because of the pandemic. After experiencing the stock market flash crash, gaining and losing $70 million in game currency, being arrested, investigated, and imprisoned, Mystery Man is still in his house, still playing video games and playing soccer with his friends every week, and still going to McDonald's to buy value meals every week. But we don't know what Mystery Man is up to in his mysterious bedroom now. Spoofing is a way people try to trick the stock market. They place big orders, but don't really want to buy or sell. This makes it look like a lot of people want to buy or sell, which changes the price. Once the price changes, they cancel their orders really fast and make money from the trick. On May 6th, 2010, the stock market suddenly crashed. This is called the flash crash. The prices of important stocks fell really fast, and everyone panicked. The market recovered quickly, but it changed the rules of trading forever. The flash crash of 2010 was a big deal for the financial world. Everyone wanted to know what happened and why. The SEC and CFTC started an investigation to find out. They found out that fast trading programs and market conditions caused the crash. The investigation focused on individual traders. They found Navinder Singh Sarao, a British trader who was doing illegal trading. In 2015, Sarao was arrested for fraud and market manipulation. This arrest showed everyone that fast trading could be dangerous. Everyone in finance was watching Sarao's case. In 2016, he admitted he was guilty. The case showed how the financial system had weaknesses and needed better rules. Sarao didn't go to jail, but had to give back millions of dollars. After the flash crash, the financial world changed a lot. There are new rules to prevent another crash. People are more careful about fast trading now. Sarao is trying to rebuild his life and learn from what happened.